Good morning, hello and welcome to Money Control's live stream. You're tuned into a fresh new edition of Opening Bell with me, Lovisha Darad. And it is the penultimate trading session for the week. And after a strong bull rally that we saw yesterday, now all eyes and hopes are for the Nifty hitting new all-time high levels today. Now after 14 months, Nifty is poised to revisit those levels. And 26,277, that's the magic number it needs to cruise through in today's trading session. But yes, the global picture, that remains quite supportive. Growing US Fed rate cut bets, that has bolstered US markets overnight. We did see Dow rising by about 300 points. Nasdaq also rose by about 200 points in today's trading session. But with that, US markets have now registered about fourth straight day of gains as well. And even the CME FedWatch tool is showcasing that traders have been anticipating about 85% chance of a rate cut in December as well. So not just US markets, but Asia Pacific markets also started the day on a positive note. Japan's Nikkei rose, whereas South Korea's Kospi also moved higher after the central bank kept its interest rates unchanged in its monetary policy meeting as well. But yes, apart from equities, good moves coming in from the crude oil prices also, because they remain at subdued and softer levels, which is also an important cue given that the markets are watching out for a peace plan which is brokered by the US to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. So yes, crude oil prices will be watching out on how this goes through, and of course the peace point plan over the weekend, whether or not anything materializes between Russia and Ukraine as well. So yes, all in all, yesterday it was a well-rounded market, and today, given the cues are largely positive, it does make sense that it does make the case even stronger for Nifty to cruise to its fresh peaks as well. But whether this happens and how you should position yourself in a market like this is something we'll understand from our experts, which is lined up in our show. We'll also be discussing some of the individual stocks of the day and also take your stock related queries. So keep posting them on our live feed and we'll take them up shortly as well. But for now, let's take a quick check of the top headlines this hour. Stocks on Wall Street logged their fourth straight day of gains ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Tech stocks continue to rebound. Dow gains over 300 points and Nasdaq gains 200. Asian markets edge higher, mirroring moves from Wall Street. Meanwhile, the GIFT Nifty is indicating a strong start for our own markets. Crude oil prices have edged higher, bouncing back from nearly one-month lows as investors assess prospects of oversupply. Gold prices, meanwhile, climbed to the highest in more than a week as hopes for a Fed rate cut continues to rise. The Union Cabinet has approved a 7,300 crore rupee scheme to promote manufacturing of rare earth permanent magnets. Minister Ashwini Vaishnav says that the scheme could make India self-reliant over the next 4 years. And India is all set to become $4 trillion economy this year, but economists say 2-year delay could mark the $5 trillion mark, citing low inflation and weak rupee. All right, yesterday we did see that the Nifty has kicked off the December series with a strong rebound, and index has closed above that 26,200 odd levels as well. So yes, bulls are eyeing the next target, which is your 26,277. That's the magic number that the Nifty needs to cruise after a long 14-month hiatus of Nifty remaining quite on the sidelines as well. So yes, financials and NBFCs that have led the rally from 24,500 levels as well, and Bank Nifty has been inching to closer to its 60,000 mark. Yesterday, we did see that the Bank Nifty as well as the PSU Bank Nifty as well, both of them hit its new all-time high levels. But yes, broader markets, they're seeing a bit of a relief rally despite some low participation. And yes, today we'll be watching out for the Sensex monthly expiry also, which will guide the Thursday's trade action as well. But yes, global cues that remain quite is expected to remain muted, given that today we will also be having US markets which will be closed on the count of Thanksgiving holiday. So of course, thin volumes are expected in the next couple of sessions for the India as well. But coming to the cash flows position of where we stand, FIIs, they stood as net buyers, bought stocks which was worth about 4969 crore rupees in the cash markets. Of course, we did see a Bahety Airtel block deal which took place yesterday. So of course, the promoters did sell some of the stake So how much of FII net buying has been, that is something that we are yet to ascertain as of now. But yes, some skewed data. So 4969 crore rupees that they have bought in yesterday's cash markets. On the other hand, DIIs, they also bought quite strongly, bought stocks which was worth about nearly 6,000 crore rupees in the cash markets itself. And Nifty put call ratio, that has jumped to about 1.45 from 0.95 levels as of now. And the stock, none of the stocks, the Samman Capital and SAIL, there were some of the stocks which were in the F&O ban list, but no new stock has been added and nothing has been removed as of now. So yes, that is coming in from the F&O ban list. Let's take a quick look at of where we stand on the pre-open rates front. Of course, let's take a quick look. Sensex is up by about 161 points. Nifty is also above that 26,200 mark as of now. So yes, looks like a strong start for the markets as of now. But yes, just a couple of points away from the lifetime high levels. So we'll get on board with our technical expert of the show. We have Chandan Taparia, Senior Vice President, Head Derivatives and Technical Research of Motilal Oswal, joining us. Chandan, I mean, good morning. Can this be a really good morning for the Indian markets then? I mean, Nifty is just 70 points away from its lifetime high levels. Do you think today is going to be the day then?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. So yes, it seems that market is all set to hit all-time high. The good part is that base of the market is shifting higher, or on weekly chart it has been forming the higher top, higher bottom. Just couple of days back it made high near 26,246, just missed the lifetime high by almost 35 points. Again, yesterday's closing was interesting, and I believe the way the global sentiments are turning positive, we are all set to hit the new lifetime high. If I look at the data internal, we have seen a massive surge in put call ratio. Even FIs bought to the tune of more than 4,500 crore after a long time. FI long short ratio has recovered to 17%. If I look at the rollover data, we have seen a decline in open interest in Nifty and Bank Nifty both, and OI shaded with slightly range bound move in the price, which indicate that short covering with light series, which could add more momentum. So I think lifetime high is just a number, but market has potential to go beyond the same. So I believe till it holds about 26,100, index can test all-time high of 26,277, or in fact it can head towards to step towards 26,400 to 26,500 marks. And when we talk about Bank Nifty index, that is comparatively holding well. In fact, it formed a strong bullish Morubos or bullish belt hold kind of formation, which clearly indicates that sustenance and the dominance by the bulls. And I believe the 60,000 is a mark which we are closely talking from last few days. And I think the Bank Nifty hold of 59,000 could take it to 60,000 to 60,250. So I think it's time to welcome new all-time high, and both the indices are likely to see, in fact, more momentum going forward.
Okay. Let's see whether or not we actually cruise to that lifetime high levels in today's trading session. But yes, Chandan, what about the metal index? I mean, it's extended its rally to the second consecutive day, and now we also have Center approving the incentive scheme for the production of rare earth magnets. What can we expect next in terms of levels for the Nifty metal, and of course, anything that you're liking from the metal basket?
So when we talk about metal, let me involve the study on the seasonality index. So we have done the seasonality thesis, and according to that, we were quite positive in the October and the November month for PSU banks, and we have seen a tremendous rally in those 2 months in PSU. Now, as per the seasonality, December usually favors the metal index, and it is the track record of 70 to 80% that most of the metal index and metal stocks do well. So I think it's time, as we started the December series, I believe metal index has potential to rally by 5%, and most of the metal counter could be on radar for the bullish stance. But to be specific, I'll focus on the national aluminum. Major trend of the counter is positive. It has seen a corrective or consolidative move in last 8-9 days, and now again it started to form high rise, high lows. So with support of 251, I believe national aluminum or NALCO can head towards 271, 272 kind of level.
Okay, all right. NALCO is something that we need to watch out for. All right, Chandan, apart from that, let's talk about IT sector also, because that has done well in yesterday's trading session. And we also have some growing Fed rate cut bets, which is keeping tech stocks in focus. But yes, anything that you're finding attractive at the current levels for IT?
So, Lovisha, in IT, we were quite positive on the persistent system, and counter has really do well by more than 8% in this month, or in fact has been making higher tops, higher bottom on the weekly chart. So there is one of the strongest counter which we have bullish stance and recommending from last couple of days. Here we are expecting a new all-time high towards 67.88 marks, which is 5 to 7% higher from current level. So till it holds above 6200, one can look for an upside target towards 6660, or in fact hitting to new all-time high of 67.88. But apart from that, Tech Mahindra is one other name which has bottomed out and has been making higher tops, higher bottom on the daily chart. It has given a consolidation breakout of last almost 40 days with a decisive hold above 1485. So with support of 1495, one can look for an upside target towards 1580 to 1600 in the Tech Mahindra. So apart from persistent system, Tech Mahindra could be other IT name which can see some positive stance in the market scenario.
Okay, all right. Tech Mahindra and persistent systems, your top picks from the IT sector. But yes, Chandan, let's just focus and talk about the pharma index as well. It's extended its gains to the second session. But if you look at the index levels, that has been fairly quite range bound. So can we expect this trend to continue in the next couple of sessions, or what are you anticipating?
So in fact, if you look at the Nifty Pharma Index, it has been moving in a range, and multiple hurdles are visible near 23,100 from last 13 to 15 months. So the good part is declines are being bought. But only problem is follow up and the momentum is missing in the counter. So strength is intact, but momentum missing, and that is required to commence the next leg of rally. But I believe the way IT has bottomed out, there will be trigger in the pharma index as well. I'll focus on the lupin, which has bottomed out after long consolidation of almost 27 weeks. A small follow-up could lead to the next leg of rally with short covering. So with support of 2020, we can see an up move towards 2160 kind of level in the lupin. Other name could be your Syngene, which has bottomed out with support of 635. It can head to a 675 kind of level. So I think selective pharma should be on radar, but we need to keep in mind the movement will be slow and steady in this segment.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about some of the new age stocks. Of course, we're seeing some good movement in the pre-open as of now. Paytm has been showing a little bit of modest gains at the pre-open. Of course, this comes after the company's subsidiary has received RBI's final approval to operate as a payment aggregator. Now, the clearance comes just a little 3 months after the RBI granted its in-principle approval in August also, and that's why we can see a little bit of good movement coming in for the counter. Chandan, what's your view for Paytm? I mean, so far this year the stock has seen a strong rally, but in the past couple of sessions the stock has been fairly range bound.
So we are quite positive on the Paytm for slightly bigger or the long term point of view. But the good part is now on the short term point of view, the lower top, lower bottom of last 13 days is getting negated. A couple of days back, we have seen a massive surge in the trading and the delivery volume, which clearly indicates the accumulation at the time of decline. Stock is holding well above its rising support trend line. Major trend is positive. So that's why the recent consolidative or corrective move provide the fresh opportunity. So with support of 1250, I believe Paytm can again head towards this recent swing high of 1350 and then move towards 1380 also. So positive view, and I think recent lower top, lower bottom negation could aid the momentum for short term point of view as well.
Okay, all right, that's the view for Paytm. We'll watch out how the stock opens. But since we're talking about a new age stock, let's also take a focus on Cartrade Tech, because we had an update that the company and Girner Software, they have mutually decided to not proceed with the acquisition of Car Dekho and Bike Dekho as well. But yes, Cartrade Tech, Chandan, how are you placed on this particular counter? I mean, in the past 1 month also, the stock has seen strong buying interest.
So yes, we have seen a massive surge in the counter in last 33 months. It has been continuously making high tops, high bottom, really do well from 385 to beyond 30 to 90 kind of level. So trend is quite positive. It has been consolidating with higher base from last almost 20 days, but trend is positive. Any day the fresh breakout could lead the rally. So with support of 3050, I believe positive momentum or buy on decline could be seen towards 3300 levels.
Okay, all right. All right, let's take a quick check of the first trades that's coming on your screen. We have opened, flat with the positive buys, but still holding on to the gains of about 26,200 as of now for the Nifty. Sensex also opened with about 100 points gain. A very muted start, but yes, we're holding still on to the gains as of now. Bank Nifty also seems to be doing well. A 60 points gain coming in for the Bank Nifty index as well. Nifty mid cap showcasing gain of about 130 points. Nifty 500 index also showcasing a gain of about 43 points. So yes, all in all, we have opened in the positive territory. But But given that it's also the, keep in mind that it's also the expiry, monthly expiry for Sensex contracts as well. So some volatility could be expected in the second half of the trading session. But for now, it's a good cue that we have opened positively with about above that 26,200 mark as of now. So yes, 26,233 and 26,277. That is just the magic figure that the Nifty needs to claim for a lifetime high figure as well. But yes, let's take a quick check of the broader end of the markets. Mid cap seems to be doing well. Small caps also seem to be holding quite well. They are outperforming the benchmark index as of now. 0.2% gains coming in for both the broader indices as well. If you look at the India VIX, that has further cooled off. 2% decline coming in for the India VIX as well. And from the sectoral point of view, its majority of the sectoral indices have opened in the green, barring your Nifty consumer durables, seeing a bit of a profit booking, flat with a negative bias. However, if you look at Nifty metals, like we were talking about earlier, extending its gain to about third straight session, 0.3% gains coming in for the Nifty metal basket as well. If you look at Nifty pharma, also showcasing a gain of about 0.1%, Nifty realty showcasing a gain of about 0.4%. If you look at Nifty auto, also showcasing a gain of about 0.3% as of now. On the other hand, Nifty IT also showcasing some good moves, up for the second straight session. 0.2% gains coming in for the Nifty IT as well. Remember that the tech stocks had also been quite resilient in the US markets and even the Asia Pacific markets, given that there are some growing bets on the US Federal Reserve rate cut bets as well. So yes, we'll be watching out further moves on this. So yes, it's a flat market as of now, but yes, we'll watch out whether or not we can reclaim those levels of 26,277. But yes, coming to the top gainers and losers on the Nifty 50, Hindalco once again doing well, 0.9% gains coming in for this metal counter. L&T also seems to be doing well, 0.7% gains coming in. Tata Motors passenger vehicles once again holding up gains, given that yesterday we did see Sierra SUV getting launched and today also it's been holding up gains. Bajaj Finance also seems to be doing well with about gains of about 0.5% itself. Bajaj Twins also yesterday also they were doing quite well, and today also they're holding on to the gains. L&T M&M on the back of its new launch of its FE variant, and we can see the stock exhibiting gains of about 0.5%. Asian Paints also seem to be doing well, 0.5% gains coming in for there, given that they planned to set up a second plant in UAE. So that's why we can see some good gains. Bajaj Auto, BEL, Shriram Finance, some of the other gainers on the Nifty 50. But yes, what seems to be not doing well in this market, that is your Titan, showcasing a decline of about 0.4%. HDFC Life also showcasing a decline of about more than 1% as of now. Yesterday it was one of the top Nifty gainers. Today it's seeing a bit of a pullback. Eicher Motors also seeing a cut of about 1% as of now. Tech Mahindra not doing well with about 0.2% loss. Eternal, Maruti Suzuki, Adani Enterprises, some of the other losers on the Nifty 50. But yes, let's address one of the top Nifty gainers, that is your Asian Paints, given that the company has announced that its step-down subsidiary, that is your Berger Paints Emirates, will be setting up its second plant manufacturing facility in UAE. Today, the stock has been showcasing about 0.5% gains. Chandan, the stock anyway has seen quite a good breakout recently, given that it did deliver a better than expected second quarter performance. But do you believe that the gains can sustain going ahead?
So yes, talking about Asian Paint, we have seen a decent recovery in last couple of days after the long underperformance. Major trend of the counter is shifting upwards, and it has been making higher tops, higher bottom. The good part is that consolidation of last 10 days now getting over, and a small follow-up could lead to the next leg of rally. Multiple supports are visible near 2850, so I believe with support of 2850, this time this counter can head towards 3000, 3200 kind of level. So I think one should look for accumulating with a small support, and momentum could drive the next leg of rally in the counter as well.
3200, that's the next target that we can watch out for Asian Paints then. Right, let's address another top Nifty gainer, that is your M&M. Well, the company did launch its BE6 Formula E edition, which is your special electric SUV inspired by the Formula E racing design and performance to the Indian streets as well. So the FE2 variant, that is priced at about 2369 lakh rupees. And the FE3 variant has been priced at about 24 lakh rupees itself. So, I mean, the bookings will be starting from January 14, which is your next year. But yes, the stock has been, pricing in some good gains, 0.5% gains coming in for there. Chandan, M&M, I mean, the stock already has seen quite a secular uptrend this year. So what can be the next target that traders should watch out for?
So, like entire Nifty Auto Index has rallied well in the year 2025, and it was mainly led by uh, innovation, uh, the consumption style, boosting the GST, new variant, preference in uh, the auto selector. So I think the momentum could continue. And M&M is one of the strongest counter. However, the momentum comes slow and steady, but higher base is clearly visible. And I think new launches and innovation could drive the momentum from current level as well. So with support of 3600, we are expecting a move towards 3850 kind of level in Mahindra and Mahindra.
Okay, all right. Speaking of some of the other auto names, let's take some of the viewer queries. Given that the first viewer query by Naveen, he's been asking the view on TVS Motors for a 6-month time horizon. Chandan, any views on this particular counter? We've seen a good rally, but right now the stock has entered a consolidation zone.
So looking at TVS Motor, uh, it was slightly underperforming in last 5 weeks, but now it had negated its lower top, lower bottom with multiple support near 3430. So buying interest should emerge. I think good momentum may be there in the counter. With support of 3480, it can head towards 3700 kind of level.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for TVS Motor. Let's take another viewer query. We have PKB Say who's been asking whether it's a good time to buy and enter HPCL at the current levels. Of course, in the past 1 month, the stock has seen relatively good traction and the stock has been a steady mover so far this year as well. Chandan, HPCL, any views and of course the target levels that you're watching out for?
Yeah, so like HPCL has been witnessing some profit booking decline in last few trading session. But yesterday it made the bottom and momentum is visible in the counter. So I think one can accumulate with support of 452 for a bounce towards 480, 485.
Okay, all right. Right, let's take another viewer query. We have Kalke Budhi who's been asking the view on TCS on how the counter looks like. Chandan, we already discussed about the IT stocks and you mentioned that you're bullish on Persistent and Tech Mahindra. But for TCS, any views on the counter?
So TCS will be like a slow and steady mover. However, multiple hurdles are visible and momentum is comparatively slow. But yes, buy on decline can be applied with support of 3100 to witness a recovery towards 3220, 3250.
Okay, all right. 2250. That is the next support zone that we can watch out for. All right, let's take another viewer
3250.
query. 3250. Okay, okay. All right, that's the new target for TCS. All right, let's take another viewer query. We have Satya who's been asking the view on Castrol and he's asking whether to be suggested for a 1-year time horizon or so. Chandan, any views on the counter? I mean, the stock has been fairly range bound and hasn't really performed this year.
Like if you look at the Castrol, and the price movement is quite interesting. If I look at the daily and the weekly chart comparative analysis, it has been slightly moving in a range or forming the lower top, lower bottom. If I look at the monthly chart, so narrow range price formation is there. It try to form the bottom, but momentum is missing. So 195 is a key trigger. Above that, only buying interest could be there. So my suggestion is buy above 195 with support of 190, and in that scenario, it can head towards 210 kind of levels.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for Castrol. Let's take another viewer query. We have Naveen who's been asking the view on HDFC Bank on how the counter looks like. Of course, the stock has been a mover and in the entire banking pack has also seen a secular uptrend this year itself. Chandan, HDFC Bank, what levels should we watch out for?
Yeah, so like somehow the positive to range bound bias is clearly visible in HDFC Bank. We have seen multiple support near uh, the lower zone of 960 or 980, 980. And with that support, it has been witnessing buy on decline stance. So I believe one need to hold the support near 980 and can look for an swing towards 1030 to 1035. But one need to keep in mind that it's likely to be range bound comparatively than being only bullish stance.
Okay, all right. That's a view coming in for HDFC Bank. Let's take another viewer query. We have Geetu Sandesh who's been asking the view on Adani Energy Solutions on how the counter looks like. Chandan, what's your view on the counter? I mean, in the of late, from September onwards, the stock has marched on and showcased a good gain of about 30%. So can we expect the gains to go ahead?
Yeah, thank you, Gituji. So looking at Adani Energy Solution, it witnessed a corrective move in the last week, but major trend is turning upwards. If I look at the monthly chart, but again, slow and steady move has to be there. As of now, I'm looking for a conditional setup. If it sustains about 1000, then only 1050, 1080 kind of level can be seen. If someone is holding the position, 960 could be a key support for the counter.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for Adani Energy as well. Let's take another viewer query. We have Komal Makhija, who's been asking the view on Vedanta for a fresh entry and the next target for the 6 months time horizon. Chandan, what's your view on Vedanta? And of course, any target levels you want to specify here, given that the entire metal pack has seen quite a stupendous rally this year?
Yeah, so as mentioned that as per the seasonality concept, metal index should do well. We already discussed about Nalco, Hindalco, and other name, but Vedanta is also one of the strongest setup. As of now, it has support near 510. With that support, it can head towards 535.
Okay, all right. That's the view for Vedanta. Then let's take another viewer query. We have Aisha, who's been asking the view on AWL Agri Business. She's saying that she's been stuck at about 273 rupees, and she's asking what's the view for a 1 month time horizon, whether or not to hold or exit with loss. So yes, Chandan, what's your view on the particular counter? 273. That's where her price is, and right now the stock is trading at about 265.
So I think immediate trend got stuck. So try to exit whenever you get the bounce. We are not closely tracking this, but advisors try to exit as the bounce are not being respected. Or even if I look at the higher zone, it has been consolidating. Multiple hurdles are visible at 280, 285. Multiple supports are visible near 250. So 250 to 280 is a broader trading range, and we have to play this range. And in fact, this range is working well from last 10, 12 months.
Okay, okay, all right. All right, it's a moment where we can say that Nifty has finally reclaimed those lifetime high levels. It has crossed above that 26 to 77 odd levels as of now. So yes, you look at both the benchmark index, both of them have seen quite a sharp rally. The last time that the index had hit a lifetime high, that was your 27th of September, which was last year. And after that, 14 months briefly after that, we are seeing that Nifty has once again reclaimed those levels, 26 to 82. That's where we are at. 77 points gain coming in for the Nifty, 0.3% gains coming in for the Nifty as of now. If you look at Sensex also, that has been exhibiting good gains, 0.3% gains coming in for there. So yes, that's quite a good move that is coming in for the Nifty. Given that we have some good global markets that we started off with, and now we are growing on with the Fed rate cut bets as well. We did navigate through some tariff volatility in between during the months of April, and then during the months of July and August as well, where additional tariffs got imposed in India. But today, finally, we are seeing that Nifty has finally reclaimed those lifetime high levels as well. So yes, let's take a quick look at what is doing well on the top gainers list on the Nifty. It seems to be your Bajaj Finance is once again cruising on the top, 2% gains coming in for the counter. Both the Bajaj twins have been doing quite well. Hindalco, L&T, Asian Paints, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, all of them have been doing quite well. So yes, Chandan, I mean a moment of a moment to celebrate for the Nifty reclaiming its lifetime high levels, and looks like it's the heavyweights that has taken the stride ahead, and that's what made the markets go ahead today.
Yeah, so congrats. We hit the new lifetime high of 26,295 by surpassing the previous high of 26,277. But as I mentioned, that these highs are just numbers, and market has much more beyond this. So somehow we believe that hold of 26,000 could continue the momentum towards 26,500 marks. So we need to focus on that. And I believe selective sector and counter from heavyweights, I think will do well. As you discuss about Bajaj Finance, already from the bottom near 980, 985. Higher base is clearly visible now. With support of 1000, one can look for an upside target towards 1070 kind of level.
All right, that's the view coming in for Nifty, and definitely quite a moment to celebrate and cheer as of now, given that we have finally reclaimed those lifetime high levels. So yes, we were anticipating that towards the end of November or the beginning of December, is when we can reclaim those levels. So just a couple of days before the November month ends, and that's when we have actually reclaimed those levels again. So yes, let's get back to the query segment of where we stand as of now. But yes, we have Shikha Kapoor, who's been asking the view on Titan on how this particular counter looks like. Chandan, one of the top Nifty gainers today, and so far this year also the stock has seen quite a steady move. What's your view on the counter?
So looking at the Titan, major trend is positive on weekly chart setup, but on daily it got stuck in a range. But I believe some bullish stance could be seen in the name. As of now, 3800 is major support. With that support, it can head towards 4050, 4100.
Okay, all right. All right, let's take another viewer query. We have Paddy, who's been asking the view on Zydus Life Sciences on how this particular counter looks like. Chandan, what's your view on this particular counter? I mean, so far this year the stock has been an underperformer, and the stock hasn't really moved well. But yesterday we saw some good moves, and today also it's been holding on to gains.
So I think Zydus will take time. The trend is not that positive, and selective pharma counters are not doing well, and this sector is missing the momentum. So 970, 965 is major hurdle. Above that only the trend could change. So keep that 965, 970 as a hurdle. On downside, multiple supports are visible near 920. So we have to play this range, or we have to trade in this range.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for Zydus Life Sciences. We have Alex, who's been asking the view on Tube Investments of India for a short-term trend. Chandan, any views on the counter? I mean, the stock did see some build-up in the month of September, but since then the stock has been in the lower trajectory, and it's quite negative for this particular counter. And today also the stock is quite flat despite an upbeat market sentiment. So what's your view on the counter? Can we expect this negative trend to continue?
So talking about TI India, it has been making lower top, lower bottom on the weekly chart. Already it had seen a corrective move from 24.22, from 34.22 almost below 28.50 marks. However, it has been consolidating from last 3-4 days, but bounces are not being respected. So I believe it would be tough. Let it surpass about 3,000, then only the trend will change. Otherwise, there are chances to go to 2800 to 2750.
Okay, all right. All right, that's the view coming in for TI India as well. Let's take another viewer query on that note. We have Sri Anand Roop, who's been asking the view on Yes Bank for a short-term accumulation period. Yes Bank, any views on the counter? I mean, in the past 6 months, the stock has seen an uptrend, but the stock has fairly been range-bound in the past couple of sessions. What's your view on Yes Bank?
Yeah, so yeah, in fact, the counter has been moving in a range from last 27 days, in between 22 on the lower side, 2350 on the upper side. So it requires a range breakout to commence the next leg of rally. But the good part is, just 3 days back or 4 days back, it took support at 2216. That is exactly 50-day exponential moving average. So a decisive range breakout is required to commence the next leg of rally. But given the price consolidation, I believe 2150 could be a support for 2450 to 25.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for Yes Bank. Let's take another viewer query. We have Kailash Chaudhary, who's been asking the view on Tata Power on how this particular counter looks like on the charts. Chandan, what's your view on Tata Power? Today the stock has been showcasing some good moves, 2% gains coming in for the counter. And if you look at from a 1-month perspective, the stock has been fairly consolidating as of now. But yes, going ahead, what's your view for Tata Power?
Yeah, so I think the recovery mode is on from last 2 days. In fact, it has been consolidating in a range and recently taken support at the lower band. Earlier it formed the bottom near 368. This time it made bottom near 379. So higher base is clearly visible. In fact, surpasses falling supply trend line with hold above 50 DMA. So some more recovery could be seen with support of 291. This time it can head towards 415 levels.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for Tata Power as well. We have Paddy, who's been asking the view on Bajaj Auto and whether it's time to book profits now, or is there any more steam left in the stock still? Any thoughts in this particular counter, Chandan?
So Perry, I think you can hold this position now. It is at the verge of the breakout on the monthly chart, and it is trying to hold about 9,000 mark decisively. So hold up 9,000 can take it towards 9,700.
Okay, all right. That's the view coming in for Bajaj Auto. All right, just one last question before we let you go, Chandan. Any top picks that you want to highlight here? I mean, you mentioned a range of counters from different metals, from different sectors, but anything that you are finding attractive at the current levels?
Yeah, so positive on the Ashok Leyland. One can buy with support of 151, looking for an upside target towards 162. So Ashok Leyland could be one preferred name. And apart from that, as mentioned, Nelco can do well. We have positive stance in metal counter and Nelco or National Aluminium looks good. So with support of 255, look for an upside target towards 278 kind of level. So I think these are the couple of names which looks good on daily, weekly chart setup with momentum as well.
Okay, all right. Those are the stocks we need to watch out for. But with that, we have to let you go, Chandan. But thank you so much for your time and joining us. All right, let's take a quick check of the markets. Of course, we did hit a lifetime high today itself, and right now the Nifty has cooled off from those levels, but still above that 26 279 odd levels as of now. So 0.2% gains coming in for the Nifty. If you look at Sensex, also up by about 300 points. And if you look at majority of the sectoral indices have also been doing quite well in today's market as well. If you look at the broader end of the markets, they have been holding up well. Both the mid cap and small cap indices have been showcasing good gains. And from a sectoral front, it looks like it's a day for the Nifty Metal Index also, given that they have been holding quite a bit of the gains in today's trading session on the growing Fed rate cut bets as well. On the other hand, if you look at some of the other sectoral pockets, Nifty Auto seems to be doing well, Nifty IT holding on to slim gains, 0.1% gains as of now. But some of the pockets have succumbed to some of the selling pressure, seeing a bit of a profit booking. That is, includes your PSU banks declining in the trade. Nifty Realty Index has also slipped in the negative territory with about flat with a negative bias. On the other hand, consumer durables had opened weak, and right now it's still extending its weakness to about 0.3% for the Nifty consumer durables as of now. All right, with that, before I move on to our next guest of the show, let me introduce you to Money Control Super Pro, which can be your ultimate investment superpower. You can get all the live trading calls, investment ideas from SEBI registered experts, pre-identified chart patterns, and AI-powered stock alerts right on your WhatsApp to help you trade and invest with confidence. So download the Money Control app and subscribe to Super Pro today itself. All right, with that, let's quickly move on to our next guest of the show. We have Manoj Bahety, founder and fund manager of Carnelian Asset Management, joining us. Manoj, good morning, and what a morning to start off with, because Nifty has hit a lifetime high today. So, I mean, what do you make change of this investor sentiment, and how will this medium-term outlook look like for the markets?
I think, good morning, Lovisha, and good morning to all your viewers. So definitely, I think Nifty hitting lifetime high. I think this time it is more driven by the corporate earnings. Last quarter, I think earning has been decent, and going forward over next two quarters, especially the second half of this year, we see this earning growth momentum to continue across sectors, be it consumers, be it pharma, healthcare, manufacturing, even BFSI. So we expect the earning growth momentum will continue going forward. And from here onwards, I think market will keep on following the earning growth momentum, and we expect earning upgrade cycle also to start from S2 onwards.
Okay, okay. Manoj, I mean, we still have that trade deal overhang, but do you believe that the markets will be discounting this tariff issue going ahead?
I think market has already answered that. I don't read too much into the trade deal. Even if you look the kind of exposure which India has on US, it is hardly 2.5% of our GDP. India continues to be a domestic driven economy, and in fact, I think the key things which matters to India, that the kind of liquidity which is there in the system, the way interest rate cut cycle has started, and along with that, government has also announced the GST rate cut, income tax rate cut. So I think Indian market is more driven by domestic factors, but definitely trade deal has got some sentimental impact. And few of the sectors, few of the spaces it has impacted, but I don't read too much into the trade deal.
Okay, okay. Manoj, what about the possibility of a rate cut? Because, of course, the global markets are rising that, there would be a Fed rate cut in the month of December itself. But what's your view and how do you think the RBI will move in its upcoming MPC meeting?
I think yesterday only RBI governor has commented that there is more room for interest rate cut, and we expect that in this monetary policy there is a good probability of rate cut in India also by 25 bips, and even in US. We expect that US Fed also may cut the rates there, and with interest rate going down, or if a Fed cuts the interest rate, I think one thing which is likely to happen, that whenever the interest rate cut happens in US, it will lead to some weakness in US dollar, and it also lead to more flows to emerging markets whenever interest rate cut happens in US. So I think both sides, India as well as US, our expectation is that there will be 25 bips kind of interest rate cuts.
Okay, okay, okay. Manoj, at this point of time when even the RBI has been indicating that they might opt for a rate cut, how would you suggest investors to approach the banking sector? Because we did see that the margin pressure was, the margin pressure was quite imminent in the second quarter results of majority of the private lenders as well. So would you say that PSU banks is where the safety net lies at this point of time?
I think entire banking system, if we see, definitely whenever the interest rate cut happens, it short term it can lead to some pressure on the NIMs because your asset repricing happens faster than the liability repricing. But I think right now the sector is more driven by loan or credit growth. And I think the way the things are shaping up, the system is flush with good liquidity, interest rate going down, private sector capex coming back. So all those things leading to good loan growth. So, and along with that, if we look at the valuations of entire BFSI space, even top-notch private sector banks are available at around 2.5 times of price to book multiple, with around 12 to 15% kind of earning growth, good asset quality. If I move to the PSU banks are still available at a very reasonable valuation. Most of the PSU banks are trading between 0.8 to 1.2, 1.3 times of price to book. And with ROE trajectory in the range of 13 to 15%, loan growth, fee based growth. So I would say that we would maintain our positive stance on the entire BFSI space. On the PSU sector banks, there is a room for both earning growth as well as valuation re-rating. And private sector banks, I think they will continue to mirror the earning growth trajectory. So we can expect even in the private sector space around 14 to 15% of earning growth trajectory. Even NBFC space, we see good credit growth momentum going forward, because whenever the interest rate goes down, NBFC sector also benefit on account of that, because their cost of borrowing goes down. And so there also, I would say that good NBFCs backed by good asset quality, good liability franchisee will do well from here on.
Okay, okay. But apart from the banking universe, any other sector there where you're finding some value visibility and valuation comfort as well?
I think automobile is one of the sector that should continue to do well. In fact, last month sales data, even after the festive season got over, the numbers looks quite decent. So I think both PV as well as two-wheeler side, and along with auto ancillaries, that should do well. And in the second half of this year, we expect even the consumer discretionary should pick up. Though I think their investors should choose carefully, looking at the valuation along with the growth trajectory. But I think we expect good earning growth trajectory, even consumer discretionary, and even IT sector. I think after underperforming for almost last 1 year. I think IT sector also has come into a good value zone, and the indications are there that whatever deal wins which IT sector has won over last few quarters, the execution cycle of that deal wins is going to improve. So even IT sector also should be doing well from here on.
Okay, okay. Manoj, what about the metals? I mean, in the second quarter earnings, we did see that the metals had led the profit growth. So, do you think that the growth will sustain in the upcoming quarters? Also, we have a key update of the government approving an incentive scheme to promote the production of rare earth magnets. How do you believe all of this news will get priced in into the metals sector?
I think metal sector, I would say it is more of a cyclical sector, but with like private sector capex coming back and so I think metal sector also should do well, though we do not regularly track metal sector. But I think on the rare side, I think I don't see much impact of this rare earth incentives on the metal sector. But one thing is clear that the Indian government they are giving incentives to make India self-reliant, whether it is like key starting material for pharma sector, whether it is like rare earth. So wherever India's dependency on outside India is higher, government is trying its level best to make India self-reliant on that side.
Okay, okay. I mean, you mentioned about auto companies within the consumption space. What about staples or even QSR companies? How are they expected to perform in the second quarter? I mean, in the upcoming quarters itself. Anything that you're finding attractive?
See, staples, I think it will continue to have. We don't expect like big surprises on the staple side. Staple side will continue to grow at their historical growth rate. I think whenever these kind of things happens, one should focus on discretionary rather than staples. On QSR, I think definitely the opportunity size is really very big, and the way this QSR companies are playing, or the QSR companies are like grabbing the market share. I think QSR space should continue to grow in terms of the revenue growth trajectory, but one should carefully look at the profitability, because only one company out of three is making profit, and other two are still not in profits in terms of the when one look at the QSR. So one should be looking very carefully the competitive trajectory, and also like a couple of QSR companies are also again raising funds. So maybe like this competitive intensity in QSR space will continue.
Okay, competitive intensity expected to continue. But how does that make you place on the new age stocks then? Given that a lot of them have continued to struggle with profitability and they've focused more on the top line growth. So going ahead, do you believe that new age stocks will continue to remain in investors' focus?
So, Lovisha, we have seen some change in that narrative. So earlier, definitely, these companies were mainly focusing on the top line growth, but many of the new age companies right now, if one look at their profitability metrics vis-a-vis what it was there a year back, we have seen significant improvement in the profitability metrics of the new age companies. So we would prefer new age companies where the opportunity size is large, where the means profitability, the path to the profitability is visible, and along with that, the company is having a leadership space, and there are like good entry barriers. So, but along with that, one should carefully evaluate the growth along with the valuation, and along with the ROE, ROC metrics for these new age companies.
Okay, okay, okay. But anything that you're cautious right now and you would advise investors to remain on the sidelines, Manoj?
So, in terms of sectors, I think one should carefully look at the real estate sector right now. Looking at, I think one of the things which has happened in this sector that the pace of approval has gone up significantly. So, we expect like in next 2, 3 years there will be decent supplies in the system, and also I think we see limited room for price upside from here. So earlier real estate companies were having like dual gains. One is on account of their volume increase, and second, the prices also kept on going up. So we see limited room for the price increase, and along with that, there will be a significant supply. So that sector one should look carefully.
Okay, okay, all right. All right, with that, we have to let you go, Manoj, but thank you so much for your time and joining us, and hope that we connect with you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, let's take a quick check of the markets. We are off the day's high as of now, but we are still above that 26,200 mark, so to speak, for the Nifty as of now. 26,252, that's where Nifty has been as of now. So yes, 0.1% gains, flat to a positive bias coming in for the benchmark index. The Sensex also up by about 170 points, showcasing a gain of about 0.2%. Also, Sensex is also about like more than 100 points away from its record high levels as well. So we are yet to see the lifetime high levels for Sensex as of now. But yes, coming to the sectoral perspective, Nifty Auto seems to be doing well. Bank Nifty is holding up gains with a positive bias as of now, flat to a positive bias. On the other hand, if you look at IT stocks, they have succumbed to the selling pressure. It's down and it's slipped into the negative territory, flat to a negative bias coming in for the Nifty IT index as of now. On the other hand, if you look at some of the other sectors that are seeing some selling pressure, that is your consumer durables, oil and gas, PSU banking pack, realty stocks, all of these particular pockets are seeing a bit of a selling pressure as of now. On the other hand, if you look at the broad end of the markets, mid caps continue to remain in the green, but small caps is something where investors have been booking profits, given that Nifty small cap index has dipped into the negative territory as of now. But yes, an important cue to take away, that is your Nifty has hit the lifetime high. Whether or not the gains get sustained throughout the day is something that we'll be watching out for. Remember that it is the Sensex expiry day, Sensex expiry monthly expiry day, so some of the volatile moves could be expected in the markets. But for now, we've come to an end of this edition of Opening Bell. Don't forget to tune in at 3 o'clock for closing, and we'll understand how the market is developed with our experts and also discuss the stocks that did grab the headline. So until then, signing off, do stay tuned to moneycontrol.com.